Testing 1, 2, 3.
Platt. Number 10, Oliver Dragasevich. Number 11, Joseph
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Number 13, Joseph Polina.
Welcome to George
Number
Andrews.
18,
Testing 1, 2,
Joshua
3.
Gillespie.
This is
Number
pre-game
1,
microphone
Riley
check just to make
Jackson
sure all the
Riley.
sound's in order.
Goalkeeper. Substitutes. Number
Good evening, wherever you're watching on YouTube in Victoria, around the country, or indeed across the globe, and welcome to George Andrews Reserve on a clear, albeit chilly night in Dandenong, a late autumn eve in Melbourne's southeast. And it is the Thunder once more who take on St Albans in a game of huge importance at both ends of the table. Obviously, with the chasing pack, Dandenong Thunder wish to keep up. Heidelberg did win last night against Stokely. Avondale battered South Melbourne this afternoon, so the Thunder can move into the top three with a win. For St Albans, they come here in a wretched run of form. 4 straight defeats and looking to snap that in order to push themselves clear of the peril that is the relegation fight. They sit 1 point above the drop zone upon their visit to Dandenong, but you just never know. Of course, this fixture overall has been the happiest for the Dandenong Thunder. The history books have been the lineups. We'll start with the hosts, and Dandenong Thunder name an unchanged 11 from the side that was victorious on Monday night in a topsy-turvy game in Bundoora. Jamie Young starts in goal, Daniel Alessi, Masim Mehmeti, Yuki Yoshida, Kyle Taylor, Wade Decker, Daniel Clark, Jay Romanovsky, Hassan Jallo, Tis Van Amerongen and Ben Jiba all retain their places in the starting 11. For St Albans, 2 changes to the starting lineup. Brian Summerskill returns, as does Oliver Dragicevic. And it will be St Albans to get us underway on an evening where 3 points are a must for both. And Jeeba's looking to drive Dandenong Thunder into an early advantage already. Clips one in towards Jallo. That's a lovely touch down the channel for Decker. Had his pocket picked. Dragicevic on an early turn. Rolls it down the line for Platt. He was marshalled well by Alessi. Jallo wins up. Clark trying to follow his lead. Decker looks to bring it under. Rolls it wide for Jiba. Wishes to advance. Dodges one challenge. Still going Jiba. Decker made a darting run into the channel. And in the end, Fletcher McFarlane able to make a comfy clearance. Throw in taken quickly. Decker looking to spin in behind. Avoids a goal kick at the expense of a throw-in. Of course, for St Albans, Riley Jackson starts in goal. Alec Mills, Fletcher McFarlane, Lucas Burns, Brian Summerskill, Mikkel Platt, Oliver Dragicevic, Joseph Monek, Joseph Kalina, Mikkel Grigic and Josh Gulewski all start. As Alessi wins up. Drops for Decker once more, who was trying to bulldoze his way through. Clark looked to apply the press. McFarlane looked to clip it wide. Mehmeti Marshall back to Van Amerongen, who returns home to Jamie Young. Game that started at a bit more of a frantic pace. It's Van Amerongen for Young. Lovely ball to find Clark. Takes on the turn. Romanovsky's bomb down the line. Looking to twist and turn. Romanovsky now for Jallo. Can he work? Now Yoshida. Alessi's advanced. Lovely ball for Jiba, who's had space to roam into. Stands it up for Taylor. Jallo on the rebound, couldn't turn it in. That is a huge early opportunity for the Thunder. From a man who's been in such fine touch in front of goal as well, Hassan Jallo. I don't think anybody been here can believe that he didn't score. A golden opportunity. It was a lovely ball from Ben Jiba. Carl Taylor got up tallest. In fairness to Jackson, he made a top save, and Jallo couldn't turn it in on the rebound. The warning signs already for St Albans. As Taylor can't find a way beyond Golewski. That's a lovely ball. Clips it into the path of Platt. Golewski swings one towards the back stick. Drasevski going to skip his way beyond Jiba, who stood up well and managed not to give away a corner. St Albans have to settle for a throw. And in fact, decision change. They will be able to load up for a corner. First of the evening. Will they be able to land an early blow to make the Thunder rue an early miss of a golden opportunity? Two defenders forward. Summerskill's take. Flicks it to the near post. Romanovsky in the way. Tried to hack it clear before it ran out. But it will be another St Albans corner. Just the start they would have wanted. Having rode out an early miss of a frantic 5 minutes. Can they put the Thunder on the back foot? Summerskill takes. Thought about Golewski short. This time doesn't beat Van Amerongen, who hacks it clear. Only as far as Monek. Summerskill once more. That's a teasing ball in. Mehmeti got up first. Chopped the way for St Albans once more. Grigic. I tried to work it back inside. Jallo came away with it momentarily. Grigic and Yoshida have a clash. And they're able to recycle it once more. Dynamo. Thunder sipping deep. Another teasing ball in. Summerskill took that down well. Fired an effort towards Jamie Young. The strike was sweet, but it ends up wide. Early warning signs for the Thunder. St Albans have started brightly. Van Amerongen took it short for Young. Mehmeti clipped it in towards Jallo. Decker had to battle and came away with it. Yoshida took it off him. And after a heavy challenge from Dragicevic, it will be a Thunder free kick. Decker thought about the quick take, left it for Taylor. Yoshida. Alessi. Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Lovely ball in the channel for Jallo, who looked to take it down. Marshalled nicely by Mills. Lovely football. Golewski with a nice ball. Back into the path of Summerskill, who hit it too far. Down the line for Platt. Van Amerongen sweeps up. He finds Jamie Young. Van Amerongen. Now Mehmeti. Clark. Challenged by Summerskill. That's St Albans press early. Proving to be a bit of a nuisance for the Thunder as Romanovsky had advanced a bit too far. Looked to steal a couple of yards. Mehmeti. Van Amerongen. Now Young. Mehmeti. Can advance. Lovely ball inside for Clark. Romanovsky. Mehmeti's continued his run. Clark's refound him. Tried to stand one up to the back post. And in the end, it was too deep for Decker. But a lovely run from Mehmeti. Clark found him nicely. The ball just had too much depth in towards that back post, and Decker wasn't able to oblige. Dragicevic. This time Jiba slides in. This game off to a similar ferocious pace that it was on Monday night for the Thunder in a topsy-turvy, truly edge-of-your-seat affair at the home of the Matildas against Melbourne Victory. They came out 4-3 winners. Of course, that Rabona from Luka Kolic, the most unbelievable of goals in that game. They got the 3 points, and since their defeat to Oakley, they've been on a brilliant run. It's seen them throw themselves back into the title picture. They can keep up the pace of being 2 points behind as Jeebers looking to drive, try to roll it into Decker. It's won back well by Mills, and in the end, Summerskill happy to calm it down. Mills. Drifted beyond Jallow and Clark. To work it down the line. Burns had a slide. Ran out of room. It was a touch too hot to handle. Thunder will have a throw in. It's a positive start from St. Albans. Jeebers throw. Monek won it up, had a stumble as he looked to play, and it swirled out of play. Jeebers throw. Looked down the line for Decker, who wanted to spin. Jallow came away with it. Yoshida. Alessi. Young back for Van Amerongen. This is St. Albans shape. So rigid in its defensive construction. It's Van Amerongen back for Young. They're set up in a 4-4-2 when defending. Thunder looking to break this down. Van Amerongen for Young once more. Young clips it. That's a lovely ball into the channel for Decker. Jeebers continued. Yoshida. Clark tried to flick Jallow around the corner. Yoshida came away with it. Tried to work it wide for Romanowski, but hit it with too much venom. Trickle out for a goal kick. It's the Thunder who've made the fastest start in the early 10 minutes, have had the best opportunity. Hassan Jallow couldn't convert from merely yards out. Kyle Taylor forced a smart save from Jackson. It fell to him in the right place at the right time. But he wasn't able to convert as Mills tried to clip it in the channel for Platt. They're able to work it. Van Amerongen tried to come across. In the end, Monek just took too heavy a touch, and it allowed the Dutchman to slide in and clear. St. Albans looking dangerous on the break whenever they're able to get in behind. Knock it into the channels. Monek and Burns in particular have started lively. Monek's throw for Mills. Hassle by Jallow. Burns will try and hustle Jeeber into clearing this. He took his time. And in the end, in trying to find Decker, has to concede a throw-in. A reset with Mills once more. This St. Albans press are in a good spell. Monek tried to wriggle away. In the end, it was a touch scrappy. A couple challenges flying in, and it will be another throw. After such a free-flowing start to this game, it's become a bit stop-start. Next throwing for Kalina. Mills. Pressed by Jallow, goes all the way home. Jackson. Kalina uses his keeper once more. Jackson looks to go along to Monek, who's advanced. He won it down for Burns. Summerskill. Kalina. Just a heavy touch from Burns, but Platt will make it work. Summerskill once more, rolls it wide for Monek. They pile the numbers in. Flick on found Platt, comes out to Summerskill. He gave it one more. Flashed across the face. Gillespie's effort forces yet another St Albans corner. Summerskill saunters over once more. They've made a bright start. Have Dynamo. Pressing the Thunder into their own half, creating plenty of opportunities. Can they capitalise on a good spell? Summerskill's take. This one with a bit more depth. It all flew round the back. Alessi got up highest. Dragicevic tried to recycle. It will be another corner. A plethora of them early. Will be Monek's take. That's a lovely ball. Van Amerongen got up highest. Jallow challenged. Real effort at goal. It was chested down by Platt. Flag is up for offside. Grigic was just drifting back from an offside position. Had a lash at it. St Albans staying high on the press. They haven't let the Thunder breathe or play out. Jamie Young immediately on it. He looked to find Decker, who took that down wonderfully. Had 3 to beat. And in the end was able to win the free kick. Mills maybe a touch overzealous on his press. Alessi's free kick. Taylor shifted gears wonderfully. Rode the challenge of Dragicevic, who will be the game's first booking. The Thunder looked to take it quickly, but were told to bring it back. Oliver Dragicevic back in the starting lineup and on a yellow after a quarter of an hour. He now has a tightrope to walk. Taylor's quick turn looked to burst beyond the lines. Relieves some of the pressure the Thunder have been under. Sheeda for Alessi, now Young. Van Amerongen. Turns to Jamie Young once more. He's pressed again, found Decker wonderfully. His flick on for Jallow, who looked to get in behind. It was well worked out and worked wide to Grigic, who nearly gave it away. Jallow stuck a leg at it, took a bobble to find McFarlane. Monet looked down the line for Burns. Had too much on it, and Young can recycle once more. St Albans bench not too happy about that. Grigic won in well. Mehmeti then tried to win it back. Came away to Summerskill, teasing ball in towards Burns at the back stick. Unless he had to get up and judge it to perfection, which he did. Will be Monek's throw. St Albans' ascendancy, their hoping comes to fruition. Burns, that's another teasing ball. Alessi up well once again. Jallow looks to make it work. Yoshida gets it lucky on the fall. He clips one over the top for Decker. The Thunder have an opportunity to break. He couldn't find Taylor, who was advancing. Kalina comes away with it. Decker wins it back. Taylor could only turn his way into a Dynamo sandwich. Yoshida was the one who came away with it. Has room to run. Tried to roll it for Clark at the back post, or Jallow, who was advancing. But via a deflection will win the Thunder's first corner. They're finally able to spring the St Albans press. Yoshida driving down the right-hand side. They just couldn't find the ball to the back post or anything for Jallo to get a touch on. It's a Thunder corner. Mehmeti to take. He drills it into a lovely area. Jackson came, punched the first time, claimed confidently the second. He's looking to go quickly, but the Thunder has stepped high. Kalina has options streaming down the line. Gulewski has room to work, tried to find Platt. St Albans protest as Alessi dived in. Gulewski gets another go, trying to dance his way beyond Romanovsky. He did wonderfully. Yoshida was there to clear it away. Only as far as Grigic. McFarlane for Mills. Monek. Teasing ball into the channel. Burns. Back for Monek once more. Summerskill. Now Burns, hustled by Decker. Mills. Lovely ball to find Summerskill, who can drive. Rolls it into the channel for Gulewski. The Thunder wanted a flag that never came. Comes back for Burns, who clips one in towards an area. No one gambled at the back post, and Jamie Young can collect. But once again, St Albans creating issues, causing problems, especially on those overloads down the left-hand side when Monek's able to venture forward. Mehmeti for Romanovsky. Van Amerongen. Finds Jamie Young. Alessi. Gives one for Jallo to chase. Mills now being hustled by Hassan Jallo, happy to concede a throw-in. Decker in a hurry. Clark. Yoshida. Switch to find Romanovsky, who took that down wonderfully. Clipped it back for Mehmeti to deliver. And they're able to clear, and Grigic can go on the break. There's options left and right. Searching ball, and Burns is now through. Tried to check beyond Jiba, he went down. St Albans protests. Alessi comes away with it. And Jiba for Yoshida. Burns looking to win it back. They've had 2 cases for a penalty in 5 minutes, St Albans. It's Young. For Yoshida, who's dropped deep. Decker. Rolls it wide for Jiba. The Thunder a little starved of rhythm in the opening 20 minutes. Look to refine their shape. But St Albans have been tough to break down. Van Amerongen for Clark. Drifted into a channel and then found Romanovsky. Lovely 1-2. Clark can drive against McFarlane, teasing ball towards the near post. Jackson able to claim calmly. Gulewski. Grigic. Look for Platt down the line, but Van Amerongen marshalled him wonderfully. Young for Alessi. Now Taylor. Mehmeti. It's found by Van Amerongen. He'd worked a yard on the left-hand side. Clark. Mehmeti once more. It's a searching ball for Jallo. Jiba's stolen him out to the back post. Rolled it back for Decker to have a hit. And Jackson made a super save, but not without conceding a corner. He got a strong hand as Decker looked to drill it high. And it's the best opportunity the Thunder have carved out since the opening moments. It's a dangerous whip from Mehmeti to the back stick. Chiba with a clever touch. Decker strike, Jackson saves. It is another Thunder corner. Mehmeti stands it towards Alessi at the back post. It's cleared only as far as Decker, who fires in the opener. Had a moment merely minutes ago. Given a second chance, and Wade Decker fires the Thunder in front. A truly lovely left foot volley. Rifled it beyond Jackson. And for all their adventure and enthusiasm, St Albans find themselves behind. Thanks to a truly sweet strike from Thunder's number 9. His third of the season. And it comes at a crucial time for the Thunder, who've had to weather a bit of a storm in the early 20 minutes. Now have the advantage. Jacko look to find Clark. His pocket would pick. Burns now. Face to face with Jiba. Look to skip his way inside. Can St Albans find a quick reply? Monek's throw. Grigic has drifted wide. McFarlane nearly sold short. Cleared it out to Grigic, who kept it alive for Summerskill. Nearly a teasing bounce for Jamie Young. Platt was charging his way down, but he claimed calmly. But the St Albans thread is still there. They found a lot of joy in between the channels. Summerskill and Grigic in particular have been looking to clip balls in towards Platt. Clark hustled by Summerskill, and the Thunder will have a free kick. Just beyond the halfway point of the first half. Taylor. Driven wonderfully and found Romanovsky. Has Grigic to beat. Romanovsky tries to stand it up. Jeebus at the back post. Dropped it down for Decker to have a go again. Jackson makes a clear save, but behind play. Summerskill has stayed down. And this is the last thing St Albans would have wanted. Someone who's made a bright start to this game, restored to the starting lineup. That is not a pretty sight. Physio signals that he won't be able to continue. And St Albans may be forced into an early change. A signal almost immediately from the physio to the bench was for that of a substitution. He is back up on his feet. Help of the physio, moving incredibly gingerly. He's clutching at his hamstring, which is never a good sign. And as Summerskill, with a hand from the physio, makes way, St Albans will make that change. Jerome Charan. Will come on in place of Summerskill, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Moving very gingerly down on the touchline. That is never something you want to see. As he makes way to his bench to receive some treatment. St Albans get things back underway. McFarlane. Lovely switching ball to Monek. Mills. Clipped it down the channel nicely. Platt stole a march. Was also in an offside position. Alessi in a hurry for Van Amerongen. Now Young. Been a first half of differing styles. St Albans on the break have looked sharp. The Thunder with that all-telling opening goal and have had the better chances. Having been pressed. In a setup you see right now as St Albans look to go high. Jeebus hustled by Monek. Return to Alessi, who had to slide in. They cannot find a way out. They will keep it. This is where Dynamo have had so much success and been able to cause so many problems. Jeebus throw. Jallo's flick on. Mills' launch. Yoshida got up tallest. Burns took it down nicely. His challenge with Jallo broke the way of Jeeba. Burns won it back wonderfully. A scrap and a protest, and the Thunder have a throw. Decker's on his bike immediately. Via a heavy touch, Mills can usher it out of play. Quarter of an hour plus stoppage time until the main break. It is just a single way Decker goal the difference. The second would be huge for the Thunder prior to half-time. St Albans need to find their way back into it. Yoshida try to roll one in for Jeeba down the line. And they will have another corner. A lot of these Mehmeti whips have targeted the back post. And for the opening goal, Alessi snuck round the back. Van Amerongen. Has taken up position there. Alessi now joins him. Mehmeti's take with depth once more. Alessi nods it on. Jallo couldn't steer it in. And Jackson through bodies can claim. He wants to go immediately. And Gulewski's tried to oblige him with the march. Romanovsky got up. Yoshida cleared. Gulewski went in heavily. The Thunder bench were incensed by that challenge. And Joshua Gulewski will go into the book as well. He was late to catch Yuki Yoshida. That's now 2 in the book for the visitors. As Yuki Yoshida makes his way back to his feet. Van Amerongen will take. Mehmeti. Storm was going high again. Jallo's made his way into the channel. Tried to flick it on for Clark. Romanovsky hustled Grigic. And the Thunder have a free kick. Yoshida for Mehmeti. Back with Yoshida. Van Amerongen. Alessi. Taylor. Looks to clip it round the corner for Jiba, who took that down wonderfully. Found Decker. Taylor. Lovely switch. Mehmeti for Romanovsky. Yoshida's drifted down the flank. Romanovsky finds him. Face to face with McFarlane. Yoshida twisting and turning. His ball in. Rather tamed. Came to no avail. Platt tried to take it under. Van Amerongen hustled him. And Alessi resets to Jamie Young. Alessi once more. Tried to drive one in towards Jallo. Jackson off his line. Clayman rolled for Monek. Kalina for Mills. And McFarlane. Mills once more. The Thunder trying to enact a press. Jallo looked to hustle him. Monek came away with it. Gulevsky. Burns. Now Grigic. Charan. For Grigic once more. Now Fletcher McFarlane for Mills. Patience and possession. Kiefer St Albans are looking to launch. Charan. Gulevsky. Grigic. Dragicevic. Charan. Taylor got in the way of his ball for Gulevsky. Then went and won his own ball back, Charan. Dragicevic. Switched it for Monek, and St Albans might have a go. Burns has got Jiba for company. Lunch drifting inside. Taylor cut his ball out ever so importantly and rolls it down the line for Jallo. Face to face with Mills. Clark's made his way to the middle. Decker's now joined him. Tried to whip it for Yoshida. Taylor might go first time. McFarlane made the block. Yoshida. Taylor tried to flick it back to him. Grigic got it clear. Charan stuck a leg out. Van Amerongen made an important challenge. They found Taylor via the referee, and we will have a drop ball. It's so very nearly opened up for Kalina and St Albans on the break. Platt had made a darting run. St Albans have it back with McFarlane, who rolls it wide for Monek. Kalina. Monek now hustled by Decker. Taylor tried to cut his options. Platt with Van Amerongen certainly in his back. Charan's now got an opening to go one-on-one with Young. Charan to have a hit. And that was a glorious opportunity for St Albans to try and land a leveller. Charan had the entirety of the right-hand side. And when he should have cut in, he went down the line. That is a golden opportunity to get one back. And what an introduction it would have been for him, coming on for Summerskill. Decker's flick finds Jallo. Jiba. And Jallo's continued his run. Clark's gone centrally. Romanovsky's arriving at the back post. Jiba to drive. Rolls it for Decker, who tried to cut it back. Important sliding challenge at the expense of yet another Thunder corner. They had the numbers arriving at the back post and on the penalty spot. The Thunder will get another corner. And a massive chance missed at one end. Presents a set-piece opportunity, potentially for those in red and black, to capitalise and compound St Albans' misery. Mehmeti takes short. Clark rolls it back. Mehmeti skipped his way beyond two and had a go himself. Slightly off balance on the shot. Drifts coolly over the net. As we enter the closing stages of an action-packed and entertaining first half here in Melbourne South East. Can St Albans find a leveller before half-time? McFarlane's looked to find Burns with a teasing long ball. Young happy to retreat and claim. And you see the Thunder split into that shape straight away. Van Amarongam and the Lessie break. Mehmeti, who starts as that third centre-half, almost takes up a left-back position. Jiba breaks into a right-back role. Taylor and Yoshida deepest. He looked to clip Decker. That's a lovely ball from Young again. Those two have had a serious synergy in this first half. Decker finds Jiba, who can drive. Jallo's arriving, as well as Romanowski at the back post. Jallo had a flick. Romanowski keeps it alive. Taylor. Back for Romanowski. Now Mehmeti's ball in. It's a fabulous whip. It nearly broke for Jiba. Jackson off his line to claim once again, but it was chaos at the back for St Albans. As Decker broke free once more for a Jamie Young long ball. The Thunder now in the groove in the final knockings. It's McFarlane. Teasing ball for Sharan. Mehmeti's got to give chase. Platt joins Sharan on the press for company. Mehmeti not taking any risks. Happy to clear out for a throw-in. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain in this first half. It's been an affair where chances have been at a premium so far. Golden opportunity. One apiece for both sides. Both were missed before Decker scored a beauty on the volley to give the Thunder the lead. Grigic. Taylor intervenes. Mehmeti hooks it clear. Only as far as McFarlane. Mehmeti went up. And it might find its way for St Albans. Jiba in the right place at the right time to clear. Kalina's cutback was teasing. It's Monek. For Burns. Flag stays down. The Thunder wanted one. Couldn't skip his way beyond Jiba, who timed his lunge to perfection. Monek's take. Burns trying to twist and turn his way around Jiba and Decker. And as a result, the Thunder will have a goal kick. It's been a touch-stop-starty at times. Plenty of stoppages, plenty of moments where the game's been about territory. Neither side afraid to press. And St Albans in particular have been able to cause the Thunder some issues when they have pressed high. Especially when they get them to work it wide. They then go and squeeze. When they time it to perfection, Dandenong Thunder haven't been able to get out. But Jallo's found the way. After maybe a bit too much contact on Mills, Hassan Jallo was on his way. For the linesman's flag. Denies him an opportunity to maybe add a second or to roll in somebody. If Clark and Romanowski went with him. St Albans blushes spares. Jackson. Now for Mills. McFarlane. Rolls it wide for Grigic. Sharan. Face to face with Mehmeti. Van Amerongen and Romanovsky work it out. Jamie Young put under pressure by Platt. He looks to go long for Taylor. Kalina read it best. Puts it wide for Monek. Sheeda's press. Lovely work. McFarlane. Gave it away to Van Amerongen, who had a moment where it slid under his boot. Young happy to recollect. Let's head towards half-time. The rumour is 3 additional minutes, but Young's sold Mehmeti short. Sharan came away with it, found it to Kalina. Platt's dummy for Sharan, who continued his run. Mehmeti got in the way, and Young can come and claim. It was a heart-in-mouth moment for Jamie Young. As Clark, lovely ball to find Taylor. Now Yoshida, and Jeebus got away on the far side. That had Decker. Yoshida's gone through the middle. Clark has Romanovsky. Tried to loft it back for Yoshida, and McFarlane read it best, but the Thunder will have a corner on the break. And that is how easily it can open up. So calm from Clark and Taylor to break through the St Albans press. And Yoshida had half of George Andrews' reserve to drive his way forward. Tried to be inventive on the loft. They do have a corner. A chance to double their lead prior to half-time. Taylor's take stood it up beautifully. Jackson got a palm. And Kalina's hustled by Jallo as we head into 3 additional minutes. McFarlane taking no chances. And although the Thunder will go into half-time happier if it stays like this, St Albans must not be too disheartened. They are far from out of this game. They've had plenty of opportunities. Have been able to maintain possession and break the press. As Sharan puts Romanovsky under pressure. Mehmeti lofts it long. Jallo stayed onside. Looked to spin his way beyond Mills. Hassan Jallo twisting and turning. Now for Clark. It's a loft for Decker at the back post. Monek got up importantly. Decker kept it alive. He lost out to Burns. Kalina. Lovely ball for Gilevsky. Pressed by Taylor. Rolled it back for Kalina. Lovely switch to find Grigic. And now Sharan. Platt. Sharan once more for Grigic. McFarlane. Mills. Monek. Kalina. Burns tried to make it work. Yoshida came away with it. Taylor couldn't get it out from under his feet. It's recycled to McFarlane. Can St Albans launch one last attack prior to half-time in search of an equaliser? Clark on the defensive slid in. Romanovsky for Yoshida. And Clark lofted it in the channel for Jallo, who's entangled with Mills, as he so often has been in his first half. Romanovsky skipped his way beyond McFarlane. Mills stuck a leg out. Platt's dropped deep to help on the defensive effort. McFarlane clears. Only as far as Alessi. The Thunder might want to launch a second. Alessi's had a drive. Alessi has a go! And Jackson makes a fine save down to his right. It was dipping devilishly, but Jackson stuck out a palm. Made a smart save. to prevent the Thunder from doubling their advantage on the cusp of half-time. They do have a corner to try and do just that. It will be Taylor to take. A goal would seriously take the wind out of St Albans' sails. Taylor's ball to the near post. Clark's flick. Decker. Mehmeti. As Chiba down the line, tried to work his way inside. Got beyond Burns' challenge. Mehmeti for Vanna Morongan's flick. Jackson claimed for the final action of a truly entertaining first half. Both sides have had their opportunities. Both sides have played good football. But thanks to a Wade Decker volley, it is the Dandenong Thunder who hold the slenderest of advantages as we head to the main break. St Albans not out of it, but the Thunder have taken that all-important chance. Half-time at George Andrews Reserve. It is Dandenong Thunder 1, St Albans 0.
players are surrounded without lawful authority, and H, conduct themselves in a manner that enhances rather than injures the reputation and goodwill of FFV, Football Federation Australia, FFA, and football generally. Any person who does not comply with this code, or who is in the opinion of the club and FFV causes or attempts to cause or is reasonably likely to cause disruption, may be evicted from the venue and banned from attending further matches held on behalf of FFV. Any offender who then breaches the ban or a game stem may be charged with trespass and subject to further penalties and sanctions, including the possibility of further legal action.
Half-time scores, your George Andrews Reserve, Dandenong Thunder 1, St Albans Dynamo 0. Scores around the grounds over the weekend, Friday night action, Oakley Cannons 1, Heidelberg United 2. Preston Lions 3, Rengully 2. Port Melbourne Sharks 3, Altona Magic 3. Today, Avondale 4, South Melbourne
Players re-emerge from the tunnel for the second half here in Dandenong of a game that's proven to be a real arm wrestle. The Thunder ahead thanks to a delicious Decker volley, but St Albans have had their own looks. They've put the Thunder under pressure. The conversations in the half-time dressing room will have been those of optimism and adventure for those in white, and for those in red and black, the understanding that 45 of the best is required once more. That is how tight this league is this season, and that is what they must do if they are to keep pace with both Avondale and Heidelberg. At the moment, they stay 2 points from the summit. For St Albans, how crucial a point would be if they are able to find something in this second half. And if they could find an early equaliser, well, then you never quite know. No changes to report from half-time. It is as you were at the end of the first half. The only substitution, of course, being Jerome Sharan on for Summerskill, who went off with an injury. The Thunder kicked this second half off with Van Amerongam, who rolls it back to Jamie Young. And of course, if they were to win tonight, it would continue their brilliant unbeaten home start in 2025. And it would send them into third in the table. They would jump above Oakley, who were beaten by Heidelberg last night. It would ensure they kept up with Avondale. 2 points from the top. Sharan with a lovely dummy. Decker was the one found. Jallow with a great touch. Yoshida is on the march. Has Clark arriving. Romanovsky. Clark brought it down. Decker had a go. It took a deflection. Came all the way out to Taylor. Mehmeti swung one back in. Mills got up highest. Yoshida went to challenge. Kalina broke free. Romanovsky recycled. Taylor once more. Now Yoshida. Clipped it wide for Mehmeti, but Burns slid in and made an important challenge. The Thunder want to fly out of the traps and add an early second as Mehmeti swings one for Clark's header. Touch too high, but an early opportunity. In the first half, he did not see many of those. It was a true test of system, of setup. And St Albans, to their credit, have played some lovely football. It's Kalina for Grigic. Now Burns. Kalina one more. It's a rolling Platt down the line. Sharan had also made a run. He had their best look at the first half. It broke for him. He had the entirety of the right-hand side. Could only fire into the side netting of Jamie Young's goal. It was a glorious chance. Two teams have wanted to press high this evening. You see it here, Taylor leading that press. Mills with a lovely ball. Monek drifted beyond Decker and Yoshida, broke the lines brilliantly. Sharan's got away from Jiba. The flag has stayed down. Gulevsky clipped one in towards the back post. Van Amerongen got it away. Dragicevic. Mills. Pressed by Jallow. Monek. Now Sharan, they ran themselves into trouble. And it will be a Thunder throw. Amidst much St Albans protest. Cheaper for Decker. His flick on only as far as Mills. It's a lovely ball over the top. Sharan tried to steal a march, couldn't quite keep it in play. Dragicevic is somebody St Albans need to get involved more in this second half if they are to create opportunities. And press hard for an equaliser. Him and his course, Gilevsky, who is their top scorer this season, is already on a booking. I need to be cautious in his approach, but how much they would desire him to have a busier half. Mills looks to clip Gilevsky down the line. He does very well to find Sharan. Monek. Kalina. Clip one over the top for Burns, who just gone a touch too soon. It's positive from St Albans, looking to exploit the space in behind. Burns just a fraction early, but it is there. If they're able to time it properly, they could catch the Thunder out. Now desperately they need to open up this Dandenong defences. Taylor drops it back for Jamie Young. Van Amerongen, such a staple of this Thunder side this season. Young, who if it stayed like this would keep a 4th clean sheet this season. It's a lovely ball into Jallow. His flick for Clark. Jeeper and Yoshida are away. Decker took a heavy touch. Sharan was able to win it back. Monek wanted to go down the line. Platt looked to put Alessi under pressure, but the flag was up. This setup the Thunder have, where Jamie Young joins in almost as a third centre-back. A long way from goal. Happy to sweep. Taylor's taking a loose touch. Kalina's on the march. It may open up for St Albans. A drilling ball in towards Platt. The Thunder get it clear. Kalina recovers it. Dragicevic had a go. And Jamie Young pounced on his effort. Rolled it quickly for Van Amerongen. Mehmeti for Taylor. St Albans high press has been such an important factor this evening as they look to press Jamie Young, who took a loose touch. Burn, unfortunate that it didn't break for him. Mehmeti hooked it clear. Jallow tried to make it work. Now Mills. McFarlane. Lofted long. That's a great run from Gilevsky. Drifted in behind Mehmeti. Gilevsky danced his way beyond Taylor. Monek's advance. Looked to stand one up. Young came and claimed. It was a chip that was easy pickings for the Thunder goalkeeper. He rolls it out for Van Amerongen. Romanovsky. Mehmeti. Back with Jamie Young. It's been so hard to play in between the lines. He's had that chipped away Decker in the first half, obviously. Was the Thunder outball. That hasn't been able to be an option so far. Young pressed by Sharan. This time looked long for Clark. Romanovsky tried to make it work. Grigic came away with it. Stormed his way into midfield. Platt. Monek. Drifting down the left-hand side. Scuffed this cross into Decker. Has a second chance to deliver. Alessi this time clears. Dragicevic. Grigic. Burns. Gilevsky thought about it for a second. Kalina trying to dance his way through. Yoshida got it away. Clark down the line for Jallow. Romanovsky. Did wonderfully. Drifted it to Decker inside. Jeeber's got an acre on the far side if he can find him. Decker switch for Jeeber, who can drive. Sharon quickly in that recovery. Jiba happy to retreat. Alessi for Young. They were nearly caught out, St Albans. Dandenong Thunder wanted that overload. Jiba's been able to open up that room. Young clips it wide for him. Decker's gone down the line. He finds Decker. So to hold it up, Mills in wonderfully. Top defending, Platt. Clips it for Golevsky. Beautiful ball through for Platt. Young came off his line and got there just in the nick of time. That was a gorgeous Golevsky ball. The weight nearly perfect. That's the ingenuity St Albans will need to show if they are to get an equaliser. They certainly started the brighter in this second half. They've had the Thunder on the back foot. The high press, much as it did in the first 45. Not allowing those in red and back to get out. Young hooks it for Alessi. And now Jiba, who has space once again. Taylor. Yoshida, who's got 2 to his left if he can go quickly. Mehmeti's joined in too. Yoshida. Van Amerongen. Back for Jamie Young. Alessi. Jiba. Could he work one in for Decker down the line? Jiba looks to drive himself. Skipped his way beyond Sharan, who had to bring him down. A free kick in a promising position for the Thunder. 10 minutes into this second half. 10 minutes where they found themselves fleetly on the back foot. They now have an opportunity to swing a ball into the box. Taylor and Mehmeti conversing over who will be the person to do just that. It's Mehmeti's take with loft. Jackson came, parried the first time, claimed the second. Wanted to go quickly. He's rolled it to Platt, who can drive. Thunder numbers are back. He wanted to slide one down the line for Burns. Too much on it. And there's some movement on the St Albans bench. Divin and Cabraja look like the two who could be introduced. As Mehmeti hooks it away. Mills. Grigic. Clark picked his pocket. Worked it wide for Taylor. Now Decker. Yoshida. Van Amerongen. Alessi, who played it wide for Jiba. Has Sharan to beat again. It's it back for Alessi, and the Thunder now have crept their way into the ascendancy. They've got St Albans on the back foot. Able to get those patterns and those combinations. That's a lovely ball from Young to find Jiba. Decker drifted down the line. Jiba was able to find him the second time. Yoshida cuts his way inside. Stands one up for Romanovsky, who maybe could have gone for goal instead of trying to hook it back. Jallo tries to make it work. It's cleared only as far as Decker, who had a go. Lacked the dip of his first effort, but Jay Romanovsky had a golden opportunity at the back post. Completely unmarked. Yoshida's ball of tease and of terrific trajectory. Nearly found the Thunder their second. As Mills clips down the line. Lovely touch from Platt, who took it down. Monek continued. Drove his way beyond one, but not beyond Jiba, who did wonderfully. Decker. Alessi. Looked to clear long. Mills had Jallo for company. One up wonderfully. Kalina. Mills and Jallo did well. What an opportunity that was for Dandenong Thunder to find a second. As Kalina has kept himself onside, stolen a march down the left-hand side. Stand one up to the back stick. Taylor got it clear. St Albans tried to keep the pressure on. Clark a bit too eager to make the challenge, and they will have a free kick. Gillespie brought down. St Albans have a free kick. Right on the hour. To put a twist in the Thunder tail. Monek's take. Platt got up biggest. Jallo hooked it away. Monek will recover. To drive his way beyond Romanovsky. Burns. Couldn't get it beyond Yoshida. Taylor hooked it anywhere. Jallo looking to give chase. That was worked out well by McFarlane. So much composure showcased to find Kalina when he could have just thumped it clear. Dragicevic. Burns, that's a gorgeous switch. St Albans trying to make it work. Drilled back across the area. Not once but twice. There's a Thunder body in the way. And it is turned in for an equaliser. St Albans against the script. Through Burns have found themselves level. And after a chaotic pinball in the area, not once, not twice, but at the third time of asking, Dynamo have dragged themselves level. And now then, there is half an hour plus stoppage time for either of these two to find a winner. On a super Saturday night football, could it be the night that an 18-year curse comes to an end? It's been a generation since St Albans last won here, but they have put themselves in a wonderful position. Twist to the Thunder tail. How do they respond? Clipping ball from Mehmeti to Clark. Romanovsky couldn't sort his feet out. Beautiful footwork from McFarlane. Sharon is in. The flag has stayed down. He's got two for company. Sharon rolled it to Gillespie, who fired it straight at Jamie Young. That was their look for a quick 1-2 punch. And to flip this script on its head completely. The Thunder nearly struck twice in a matter of minutes. Can they respond at the other end? Decker with a loose touch. Hooking clearance from Monek. Sharon couldn't get it under. Gillespie came away with it. And now Monek. Mills. McFarlane. Mills once more, and if they were to find a goal to give them the lead, it would steer them ever so further away of the relegation scrap. Burns putting Van Amerongen under pressure. Young forced to clear. Did wonderfully to find Mehmeti. And now Taylor. Decker made a darting run. He switched it well for St Albans sprinting back. Monek did wonderfully. Alessi had to clear. And the entire complexion of this contest changes as the Thunder make 2 changes as a result of that goal. Aidan Edwards for Wade Decker. And Jock Akwen for Jay Romanovsky. Decker, the goal scorer, made the big difference. Romanovsky put in a tidy shift. But they are looking to fresh legs in order to find a winner. In the meantime, McFarlane. He worked his way back to Mills. McFarlane once more. Clicking ball down the line for Burns. Mehmeti got up tallest. McFarlane won it back. Edwards' first involvement is to roll it to Yuki Yoshida, who's got 4 around him. Yoshida danced beyond them all. Grigic was able to stick a foot in. Yoshida still going, and at the second time of asking, Grigic gets a crucial lunge in. Akwen for Mehmeti. Taylor's drifted into that channel. Mehmeti once more. Looked to stand one up. Jackson opted to punch. Mills got it away. Taylor recycle. Van Amerongen. Taylor. Smashing ball for Akwen, whose touch was too heavy, and it will be a St Albans goal kick. The pressure at its ever highest. 25 minutes plus stoppage time. For what has become an enthralling contest in Dandenong. Platt's been bundled down. St Albans incensed as Jiba for Van Amerongen and the Thunder kept it going. Mehmeti. Akwen. Burns made a strong challenge and won it back. Sharan, it's worked wide for Monek. Mills. Monek wide. Tried to find his way beyond Yoshida. Hassan Jallo came to switch. Chelina with a lovely ball. Van Amerongen cut it out so crucially. And then the Dutchman danced his way into midfield before finding Edwards. Kalina left one on him. Edwards once more. There's a bit of fire and a bit of feeling. There's Taylor. Van Amerongen for Young. Mehmeti. Akwen stolen a yard down the channel. Akwen chose to go alone. It was a teasing ball to the back post. Jiba recovered it. Yoshida tried to dance his way across. Stood it up for Jallo. Akwen at the back stick. Grigic and McFarlane got in the way, and the Thunder will have a corner. And there are 2 down in the area as a result. Jallo may have landed awkwardly. McFarlane put himself on the line to make that block. And Taylor will take the resulting corner. Fizzed into the near post. Monek got it clear. A teasing ball in towards Burns, who skipped his way beyond Akwen, who dangled a leg out. And the Thunder will keep it. St Albans' tempers well and truly boiling over. As Yoshida turned away, was dragged back by Grigic, who for that pull will go into the book, and Yuki Yoshida's not happy about that. Yellow card brandish for the St Albans fullback. Free kick taken quickly. But in the end, a little too quickly, and will be dragged back. There is tension and feeling in this place right now. Both understanding how important the deadlock breaker would be. As Grigic cut out Mehmeti's ball for Aquin. Van Amarongam. Alessi. Rolls it back for Young. Options left and right. Search for Yoshida, who did wonderfully in the end. Aquin came away with it. Rolled it back for Yoshida, who danced his way beyond to Yoshida. That is a wonderful goal. Yuki Yoshida with a stunner. And having been rocked, the Thunder roar back in front. He danced his way through the St Albans defence, and then with the coolest finish, rolled it into the bottom corner. And for all the pressure they've been under, the Thunder find a way. That was simply special. Something superb from Yoshida. And St Albans have it all to do once more. The Thunder back in front from a terrific run. What have they got? It's McFarlane. Smashing turn from Dragicevic. Monek. Rolled it down the line. It's cut back to Dragicevic. Edwards in the way. A lovely hit at goal. Jamie Young made a super save. Gillespie gave it a drive. And through bodies, Young got down early. And him and Van Amerongen want to provide some calm to the situation once more. But again, the dynamic shifts. The Thunder back into third. St Albans back to only a point above the drop, and they may be going for a third. Aquin's ball, Jallo stuck a leg out. Jackson came and claimed, but Aquin found so much space down that left-hand side. Dragicevic pressed by Jallo. Mills was as well. Monek now under the cosh from Yoshida. The Thunder sense an opening. Alessi. Monek. Dragicevic. Looked to find Burns. Mehmeti got up crucially. Aquin did well to win it back. Rolled it for Mehmeti. And now Taylor. Calmly for Van Amerongen, who uses Jamie Young. Alessi. Lofted it for Jallo. McFarlane. And then Grigic came away with it. Jackson. Mills. St Albans prepping another substitution. The kitchen sink may be about to be thrown. They've got 18 minutes plus stoppage time to save themselves. It's McFarlane. Lovely switch for Monek. Clipped it down the line for Sharan. Face to face with Edwards, who made the crucial block, but Sharan will take the corner. So much importance at both ends of the table on these next 17 minutes. St Albans, if they were to grab an equaliser, are looking for anything to snap a run of 4 straight defeats. The Thunder want to go second with another momentum-building win. Dragicevic for Gillespie, who was fouled by Yoshida. It presents a free kick in a truly dangerous position. Golewski took it immediately. St. Albans top scorer. Would take a special effort to level it. And they will now make that change. Grigic makes way for Zidias. St. Albans with a set piece. Golewski and Burns stood over it. It is Golewski's free kick. That is a perler. If it were to count. Confusion over a whistle. But St. Albans have their leveller through a stunning free kick. A glorious Golewski goal. And we are level at 2-2. That is a sumptuous free kick. A wondrous left foot whip. Simply stunning from Golewski. St. Albans top scorer stands up tallest at the crucialist of moments. The Thunder may be able to turn the script again. Mehmeti for Clark. Akwen cut it back. McFarlane crucially in the way. Platt and Van Amerongen tussled. Mehmeti came away with it. Ran out of room and St. Albans have a throw. My word, what a free kick. If you're ever to equalise, that is the way to do it. And they may be looking for more. It's worked its way wide for Monek, who has options near and far post. Couldn't beat it beyond Edwards. Jiba had to stab it clear. Yoshida skipped his way beyond two. Kalina had to bring him down. And for that challenge, will go into the book. What a grandstand finish we are in for. This is a game that's had everything. Simply wonderful goals. Both sides have played some excellent football at times, but it's had grit. A proper arm wrestle as Chiba for Yoshida. Skipped his way beyond Mills. Yoshida dancing down the touchline. Wonderful ball for Clark. That is a super stop from Jackson. What a save to keep St. Albans level. How huge could that prove to be? Yoshida for Jiba. Jallo couldn't get there. Taylor let it run. It comes out to Akwen. Sold his way beyond one. Jackson in the way. McFarlane hooks it clear. Beautiful touch from Golewski. Platt could lead the St. Albans break. They could go end to end. Saran is through the middle. Platt beyond Van Amerongen. His challenge. Penalty. Unbelievable. A St. Albans spot kick. And an opportunity to turn this game on its head. Drama in Dandenong. How big a moment could this be for St. Albans? How crucial a moment. This place has fallen dead silent. St. Albans with an opportunity to turn it around. Platt against Young. It is Platt. Jamie Young with a huge save. Platt on the rebound, Young again. And they can't turn it in. The Thunder hack it clear. Jamie Young with an unbelievable double save. That is simply superb. Outrageous goalkeeping. A brilliant first save down to his left. Quickly off his line for the second. How huge could that prove to be? He will receive hero status if they can find a way to win it. Mehmeti's ball for Jallow. Had two to beat. McFarlane got up. St. Albans came away with it, but we will have a halt as Hassan Jallow has stayed down. What a wonderful, wonderful save. Not only on the penalty, but on the follow-up. Glorious goalkeeping from the Thunder's number one. As McFarlane looked to find Platt. Van Amerongen got up. Taylor whipped it wide for Yoshida. Couldn't skip beyond Monek. Chiba, Yoshida. Monek again stood firm. Chiba clipped one down the line. Yoshida wanted to pressure on and won it back. Chiba, what can he deliver? Tried to fire one into the back post, but got it all wrong in the end. Just under 8 minutes plus stoppage time. In a Dandenong epic. It could go either way. 18 years of pain on the line as McFarlane had to clear his lines. For Galewski, that dummy, nearly dangerous. Chiba for Alessi. St. Albans prepping two more changes. Young. Van Amerongen. For Jamie Young once more. Immediately looks to find Chiba. Monek won up well. Yoshida came away with it, was hustled by Sharan. St. Albans holding steady. Have not rued that penalty miss so far. It's Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Options down the line. Jallow's got in between the channel. But in doing so, went a touch too early. And now those substitutions will be able to take place for St. Albans. One final roll of the dice for a winner. Luca Cabraja makes his way on, as does Josh Divin. Burns and Platt make way. A huge finish. Jackson looking long for Sharan. Chiba one up well. What a game we have on our hands. What a game it's been. And we're nowhere near finished yet. Monek's throw. Dragicevic. Monek. Mills. All the way back to Jackson. McFarlane. Dragicevic. Smashing ball for Sharan. Lovely clip indoors, and Monek's got the left-hand side to roam into. Jeeba's trying to track his way back. Monek drifted it back. Alessi hooked it clear. Kalina. Monek. Back with Kalina once more. St Albans looking to turn the screw. Dragicevic wide. Cabraja. Teasing ball in. Jamie Young comes to claim. And the Thunder survive the threat for now. 4.5 minutes plus stoppage time to decide an absolute epic. Lovely ball from Ameti for Clark. The right hand side is open. Jeeba and Yoshida have advanced. Clark is going on his own. Cleared only as far as Jeeba. Clark turned his way beyond Monek. But in the end, Chabra did wonderfully. Edwards happy to see it out. Jeeba, Clark. Loose touch, and St Albans now may be able to launch something of their own. Can they do what nobody has done this season so far and beat the Thunder on their own turf? McFarlane clips it for Monek, who flung it in the channel. Divin made a contest of it, and St Albans will be able to set up from the throw-in. Monek's throw. Dragicevic. Monek skipped his way beyond Yoshida. Jeeba stuck a leg in. Sharan came away with it. All the way back for Dragicevic. Sharan. Teasing whip, but nobody was home. Alessi hooked it clear. Edwards got up. Aquen did well. That's a teasing ball for Jallow. That's a lovely flick on. Clark has stolen away. Jallow's continued his advance. Clark could go alone. Jackson made the save. It nearly fell for Yoshida. Appeals for a penalty, waved away. Drama till the last, and St Albans might be able to break. Gulevsky for Sharan. Face to face with Jeeba. Back for Gulevsky. Kalina. Important challenge. On the recovery from Edwards, as it's forced back to Mills. That is a huge moment. Mills tried to clip into the channel. Mehmeti got it away. Gulevsky was the one who came away with it. Nearly opened up for him. He rolled it wide for Sharan. Can St Albans steal something? Cabraja got around the challenge, dinked it in. Nobody obliged him at the back post, and Mehmeti had to hook it clear. The Thunder survive another scare as they prep their own substitution. Ismaili getting ready to come on. Mills for Kalina. Beautiful clip. St Albans may be in here. Mehmeti stood up tall. Gulevsky couldn't stand one up. And the Thunder can now make that substitution. Hassan Jallow makes way for Sevdim Ismaili. Another solid shift from their number 14 up front. Unfortunate not to reap reward for his effort, but ran the channels. A thorn in this St Albans side all evening long. As we head towards stoppage time, we're looking at a further 5 minutes to see if either of these two sides can find the most dramatic of decisive goals. Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Smashing switch for Jiba. Took a heavy touch. Got it through Monek's legs. Yoshida rolled it to the back post. McFarlane got it clear. Ismaili, that would have been some introduction. But now St Albans might be able to go the other way. Divin holds it up. Breeze beyond Ismaili. Might open up for Divin. Can he cut one back? He might go alone. Van Amerongen stuck a foot in, but St Albans have a corner. As we enter 5 minutes of stoppage time. Is there one more dramatic twist to a game that's given us so much drama? We ask, please, just one more moment. Something special, something scrappy, or something scintillating. Corner with depth. Cabraja got up highest. The Thunder are able to just about hook it clear. Taylor got it anywhere. St Albans able to reload. It's Diaz's throw. Kalina. Dragicevic. Monek. Lovely twist inside from Golevski. Divin hustled by Van Amerongen and he slid away from him. Divin dragged it across the face. St Albans have another corner. Another opportunity for a winner. Final knockings. It is Monek's take. Once again with depth, Van Amerongen away. Only as far as Idias. Monek to hook it in once more. Golevski got free at the back post. But the Thunder will have a goal kick. Not long to go. Is there one final Thunder throw? In an absolute thriller. Mehmeti. Clipped in the channel. McFarlane unmarked. Yoshida with a heavy challenge. Divin got a touchdown. Sharan. Edwards picked his pocket. Yoshida came away with it. Aquens darted down the left-hand side. Waited for his options. Home for Mehmeti. Edwards. Aquen. Mehmeti lost his footing. Had to dive in. Edwards came away with it. Rolled it for Van Amerongen. Is this it? Alessi. Jiba, who's been a source all evening. Ismaili. Shifts it for Mehmeti. They'll have a corner. They will have a corner. One last knocking. Will there be a winner? Back post busy. Taylor to take. 90 and then some on the clock. Clark. Taylor stands it up. Aquin got up. Van Amerongen had a stab. Alessi had a hit. Jackson made a super save. McFarlane hooked it clear. Chiba made a crucial challenge. St Albans now in a hurry to go the other way. Dragicevic. Van Amerongen. Not the most convincing of clearances to find Aquin. Sharan cut out his clearance. Mehmeti came away with it. Taylor. Clark's gone down the line. Yoshida's at the back post. Chiba's gone with him. It is Clark. Jackson got a tip. And that will be that. Absolute shock on both ends. At the end of one of the great games so far this season. It had absolutely everything bar a winner. Drama. Some simply sensational goals. And in the end, St Albans showed grit, they showed fight. It's a point in the right direction for them. The Thunder lose ground with the title chasing pack. Full time here in Dandenong. It is Dandenong Thunder 2, St Albans 2.